Good morning, everybody. Once again, for you folks who don't understand, it used to be you had an option in advanced settings where if you wanted to record a video at landscape rather than this shit, you could check a box and it would let you do it. And you'll notice up to a certain point, all my videos used landscape because I was more familiar with it. It was easier to hold the phone for me. And then all of a sudden, just one day, that option disappeared because vertical is always recommended. So now you're mobile, you have no choice but to film it like this. Uh, but this be Monday morning. It is 56 degrees outside. It got a bit chilly last night, and which is kind of weird for summer, but it happens. It was done in the 50s, where it still is. But okay, I've seen, Dot and Bubble. I've seen, Rogue. And it's just so horrible that we're enjoying all this show. I've had somebody pop into the comment box that I had to explain to them because it seems that all anybody wants now is doom and gloom. You know, it was so terrible it made me go want to bang my head against the brick wall type reporting. And so far, this season hasn't been, any worse than any other season. You've had your good episodes, you've had your great episodes, and you had ones you really don't want to go talk about anymore, which everybody seems to think is Space Babies. And I'm like I said, I enjoyed Space Babies. It was what it was. It was just a fun, lighthearted episode. And everyone's like, oh my God, they started off the season on this. I go, yeah, because, they're not airing them in the order they were shot or anything like that as usual, because as we saw for a couple episodes there, it was kind of Dr. Light, and that's because Shooty was not around. He was finishing up some other commitments he had. Plus, don't you just love the fact that Whitaker's so terrible that people are lining up in the aisles to see her at cons, and she's just landing work left and right. And I actually saw somebody on Twitter the other day begging for Chibnall to come back, and I'm like, you guys were calling him woke when he was actually a lot milder than any of the other showrunners. And it's like, no, you're calling him that. You're calling RTD this now and all that because some lame brain with a camera has told you it is bad, it is evil, and you must disregard it. And it's kind of sad, too, that we live in a society where guys who, the closest thing to having, any knowledge or anything about the entertainment world was whatever they did the five knuckle shuffle to the night before. And that just, shouldn't be the case. Okay, we see some new faces out there. Hello, everybody, coming on in. And like I said, the title's going to be misleading because a lot of the stuff and, a lot of the reporting you've been getting lately online is misleading. It's a load of crap. It's kind of sad, too, because it gives me, us middle-class old white dudes a bad name. Like we don't have a bad enough name already because apparently I'm supposed to feel guilty for everything that happened 100 years before I was even born. Ugh. And to which I point the finger back at people and go, maybe you should check out what you were doing, your people were doing 100 years before you were born. Before you start putting, well. So yeah, hey, I don't care. If they want to come on in, they're upping my participation and my my engagement value. So more the merrier. Come on in, say hello. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to eat the phone. They don't taste good. Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention Fahrenheit. Okay. a lovely Monday morning overcast. And also, I'm loving how the ratings are failing and blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And I'm like, and once again, they're citing numbers from 100 years ago, or, well, in this case, just over a decade ago. And I'm like, I'll never forget because I was, shall we say, not given a warm reception when I brought this up, because in another chat, so to speak, you can't compare the numbers for current day Who. Okay, if you want to what was going on about, back in '05, 010 even, because it wasn't until we started going into the Matt Smith era that we started getting streaming, along with the show. And that's when the numbers started to slowly go down. Because back in the early days, they did not count the streaming figures and along with the viewing figures that did eventually come along. But it's not like back, when Voyage of the Damned happened and all that. It got massive ratings. I go, yeah, but it was also BBC One was the only place you could watch it. So, oh well. Hey, the more the merrier. Come on in and say hello, because if you've been listening to certain other individuals out there, I got some bad news for you. You're being had. Okay, yeah, some bots got in. Please, come on, you're upping my numbers for me. Thank you. Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people are doing now. They're watching it on the iPlayer, or they're watching it on Disney Plus when it first breaks at midnight. And I know there was meetings earlier this past week going on with RTD, so I'm wondering what those were about. But when you look at the fact that Doctor Who was in the top 10 for, I can't remember how many countries across the planet, then I'm sorry, but that does not indicate your show is a flop. Yeah, I notice how a lot of these channels are suddenly disappearing faster than I can keep up with. Ugh. Don't worry about it. Most of them are bots. That's their whole point. They're trying to scare you away. They don't want to accept the fact that they suck. But oh well. All right, a couple more minutes to go. And I love how there were numerous, well, at least one article, I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head. Was it the Daily Mail or something like that? First same-sex kiss in Doctor Who history. And I'm like, somebody obviously hasn't been doing their research, because they are way behind on that one. Nah, don't worry about it. Like I said, most of these guys are bots. They're repeating the same thing over and over again. If you were fans of this channel, you'd already know where I'm from. I'm from a small planet in an insignificant solar system on the western spiral arm of the galaxy. Ali Babar. Babar. I remember Babar when I was growing up as a kid. Babar was this elephant in these books. Um, and he used to go all these different places. I think he was supposed to be like a king or something. Ah, well. It's about that time. I got to get up and get running in anyway. So everybody, please take care of yourselves. Have a good one. We'll talk to you all later. Be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy your Monday. And like I said, I've got to go running in. So take care.